Welcome back, everyone. In today's class, we will talk about the video number 7, and video number 7 constitutes of conditional formatting, data validation, and data scenario. And after today's class, you will be able to do activity 3.10, 3.11, and 3.1. Okay, let's talk about the conditional formatting. So conditional formatting helps us in highlighting the certain values or identifying the particular cells easily. For example, there are these students A1 to A9. These are the marks scored by those students in physics, chemistry, and math. Now, I wanted to highlight all those cells which are above 50 in all these courses. So I will select all these marks scored by different students, and then I will go to the home, and then I'll click on to the conditional formatting, highlight the cells greater than, then I will mark it as above 50. And then I can change the color also. Let's say I wanted to put the green fill and press OK. So these are the marks above 50. Now, this is not the only conditional formatting. If you click onto the home page and go to the conditional formatting, you will see the various options here. You can also highlight with the help of data bars, and you can use the icons also. And then you can also make your own rules. So you can clear out the previous rules. You can create your own new rules also. So if I click onto the new rules, and then you can down here, you can select whatever way you want to select. You wanted to have 2 color scale, 3 color scale, data bar. So sorry guys, you can select any of the colors. And let's say if I wanted to select the color as starting with the green, or well, I'll start with the orange, and then here highest value I wanted to keep it to green. So that's how you can change the color also. So hopefully you were able to understand how you can use the conditional formatting to highlight the cells, and then you can visualize those cells easily. Now, let's look into the part B of our topic. So the part B of our topic is data validation. So I'm going to click onto this sheet, data validation. So this is some data given to me. These are the number of, this is a list given to me, let's say name list given to me from A1 to A19. Here, I wanted to create a list down here. So what I'm going to do is home, and then I'll go to the data, and then I will click onto this icon here, and then click onto the data validation. And then as soon as I click onto the data validation, a new dialog box opens up, and it asks me the different conditions. So here, if I look into this, any value, whatever, so by default, it selects any value, whatever you want to put in. If you want to put in whole number, decimal, list, date, time, text length, custom. Right now, I wanted to create a list. So I'll click onto the list, and it asks me where is the source. So this is the source. I'm going to select all these cells and press OK. Now I've created a list down here. So whatever I wanted to fill in, I can fill in here. Now, where it is advantageous to use it in combination with the VLOOKUP. So I'm going to take another example here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this data here, Control C, let me see, copy, and then I'm going to paste it down here, Control V. Now I wanted to find out the marks scored by student A5. Let's say I'm going to paste A5 here, marks scored by this student, and well, I'll use it here, A7 in physics course. That's what I wanted to find out. So here I'm going to use equal to VLOOKUP, and then I am referring to this cell, and where I am looking at in this table array, this is the table array, comma, and the column index number. I have to check out the physics marks, so I'm going to use 2, comma, it is the exact match I'm looking for, close the bracket, and I got the marks scored by A7 in the physics course. Now, I wanted to see his marks I wanted to see the marks of, because this is up to A9, so I can go only up to A9. This list which I created is up to A19. So here the data is only up to A9, so it can go only up to A9. So here I'll select A3 and A3 marks is 10. And then if I look at to A2, A2 marks is 16. So hopefully you were able to understand why the list is important and how it is useful in the various activities. Now, if I again go to the home page and then go to the data, and under data validation, click onto the data validation. And then if let's say I wanted to put in the whole number, so I'll select another cell here on a separate side. So here I've selected the cell data validation. Click onto the data validation. I will select a whole number here. So it asks me what is the range you wanted to keep. I'm going to say between 10 and maximum is 100 and press OK. It asks me for the input message also or error alert. Go and play with this. If you wanted to put in any input message as soon as someone click on this cell, so it will highlight that input message. For the sake of our class, I'm going to keep it a little simple and then I'll press OK. And then here I'm going to try and put in 112. Let's see. So it gave me an error. It says this the value does not match the data validation restrictions for this particular cell. Now, if I press it 99, so it allows the 99 to be pressed here. So hopefully you were able to understand how to use the data validation. Now, let's move to the third part. So third part is the data scenario. So under the data scenario, let's say this is the piece of information given to me. Now, before I jump into how to use the data scenario, I'll tell you what is the what is the advantage of using the data scenario. As the name suggests, scenario, you can create multiple scenarios by using the data scenario. For example, if you are given, you are starting a business and let's say you wanted to sell the markers and cost price of one marker, you purchased it at $10 and you are selling it at $20. The hidden cost, because you are investing, uh, I mean, a lot of other things. For example, if you are purchasing something, you have to ship in the goods and you have to ship it to the customers also. So all those costs are hidden cost. I'm mentioning as hidden cost are $2,000. So this is the cost. This is the selling price of one item. This is the cost price of one item. And the total number of items you sold are 300. And then I wanted to find the profit. So I'm going to use the simple basic formula here. So that this is going to give me the profit made by you. So because if selling price is 20 and you sold 300 of those, so you will write it again. I'll show you one more time by deleting it. And so you will select this selling price times it by 300 and then minus start the bracket cost price of one item, multiply it with how many items you are selling. These are the number of items you are selling. So same number of items you have to purchase also, and plus the $2,000 because that's your hidden cost. So that is you made a net profit of $3,000. So this is your normal routine. So as I said in the beginning, you are dealing with the marker business. And in this marker business, you are thinking that you will be able to sell 300 markers on an average in a month. And then your net profit is $1,000. Now, I wanted to create something for if what if you've not been able to sell 300 markers? What if you've been able to sell 500 markers? So for different scenarios, I wanted to create and wanted and compare them. And let's see how I can create that. So this I will click onto the data and then I will click on to the what if analysis and then select the scenario manager. As soon as I select the scenario manager, a new dialog box will open up and then I'll click on to the add. As soon as I click on to the add, here I will say best case scenario, best case. So now, under the best case, it asks me changing the cells. Which cells do you want to change? So I wanted to change, let's say, if I end up selling more than 300 items. So this is one of the cells which going to make an impact, comma, another cell which is going to make an impact is selling price. Let's say the selling price is also increased, so your margin has increased. Another cell you can select is your hidden cost has reduced. Maybe the gasoline cost has reduced. Okay, so I've selected these three cells and then I will press OK. So I've created a scenario. This is the first scenario I've created. And it asked me, these are the three cells you've selected. Yes, I selected these three cells. Here, I will say because this is a best case scenario, I'll put in the 500 here. And this, let's say the selling price, you are selling at $25. And then hidden cost has reduced to $1,000, and then I will press OK. Before I press OK, you can add more variables also. If you click on add, it will add more variables. Press OK then. So we've created one scenario. Now I wanted to create another scenario. That was the worst case. So I'll click on to the add. Now again, I'll repeat it. Worst case. And in this one, I wanted to keep selecting these cells and then press OK. And then let's say under the worst case, I end up selling only 100, and the selling price is reduced to $15, and then the hidden cost has increased to $2,500. And then I'm going to press OK, and now I'm going to click on to the summary. And it asks me, do you want to create a pivot table or you wanted to create a scenario summary sheet? So for the sake of this question, I'm going to select the scenario summary sheet and I will press OK. Before I press OK, I need to locate which is the result cell here. Is it targeting the right cell? Because we are targeting the profit here. So it has to be B5 here. Always remember this thing. If this is not targeting the accurate cell, you change it. All right. So press OK. And then a new window has opened up. Under the scenario summary report, I can clearly see the best case scenario is I'll make $6,500 of profit, and under the worst case, I will make a loss of $2,000. And under the current values, which I am thinking on an average, I will be able to sell 300 items. I'll make a profit of $1,000. So this was a very easy example which I've taken. In industry. There are multiple variables and then you have to deal with all those. And you can always come up with a complete scenario summary sheet, which will help you to understand your business in a better way. So hopefully you were able to understand how to use the scenario manager. Now, one last thing before I finish the class for the day is that you can change the name of the cells. So down here, scenario summary, I am referring to these cells. I don't know what these cells are all about. So I can click here and then this one I can mark here on the top rectangular section. I can mark it as CP, cost price, and press enter. All right, so this cell is marked as CP and this cell I wanted to mark it as SP and press enter. And this I will mark it as hidden cost. You cannot leave the space. You have to press underscore cost and press enter. So, and then sold items, sold underscore items, press enter. So let me go back and check whether I've selected them correctly or not. Yes. Now I've named these cells. Again, I'm going to go to data and create what if analysis, scenario manager, and then I will create add. I'm going to name this as new, something like new. All right, so I'm changing these cells. I will change only two cells, these two cells this time, comma, this cell. So these are the, well, let me see whether I selected the right cells or not. I think I did, but there's no harm in doing it one more time. and then press OK. And see down here, you can see the name now associated with them. So hidden cost and SP, and press OK, and then summary. And now you can see the name down here, and this is merged with the best, worst, and new case scenario. Hopefully you were able to understand everything what we've learned in today's class. So one more time, we did talk about the conditional formatting, how it is useful to highlight the different cells so that you can easily see them. And after that, we talked about the data scenario, not the data scenario. I think we did talk about uh, the second one was data validation. So data validation down here. So data validation is how you can create the list, or how you can put the you can put the constraints for the different cells. And after that, finally, we talked about the scenario manager, how you can create your own sheet to compare the different values. So that's it from my side. I will see you with another video. Till then, goodbye.